All right, let's see this. Roblox predator problems getting worse.
Platform that needs no introduction, yet every time I talk about it, I feel compelled to remind people that this is like one of the most profitable things on the planet. This game has become more popular than oxygen, but I'm sure all of you already know that. There's not a soul on this planet that hasn't at least heard the name Roblox. You could live underground just feeding off dirt, and somehow I'm sure the name Roblox made it down to the subterranean culture. Like, it is actually that big. But for some parents that stay in the know about the happenings on the online space, Roblox is a name that might send some shivers down your spine, because there is a big problem in the community that has existed for a while, one that the Roblox headquarters plugs its ears to and even actively tries to bury or dissuade people from trying to solve the problem themselves. That problem being predators. There have been innumerable cases of Roblox predators preying on children through the platform. It's led to so many national headlines about this issue, and it's gotten so bad that there are YouTubers and like vigilante groups on the game that have taken matters into their own hands to try and catch and get these predators arrested so they can make the platform safer for children. Roblox themselves don't do enough to keep the platform safe, so the community has taken it upon themselves to do it themselves. Like, Roblox always claims that they're working on it, but they're really not. They're doing the equivalent of going to the gym and hitting 2 sets of dilly-dally and calling it a day. They don't actually do much for this.
Has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation, because I catch predators on their platform. Within the last
You got to investigate and use your voice changer to do a speedrun to see how long it takes for grooming to happen. That sounds insane. I don't feel comfortable presenting myself as a teenager just to do pedo hunting operations. That's insane.
year, me and my team have gotten 6 predators arrested within the Roblox community. Almost all of them have admitted to doing this before to other Roblox users.
This is a YouTuber named Schlep who has been working to get predators arrested that are preying on children through the Roblox platform. And Roblox has now permanently banned him, like IP ban, banish all of his accounts to the Shadow Realm, and he is facing potential legal problems for this. It's pretty odd considering Roblox willingly turns a blind eye to the pedophile plague on their platform, but will laser focus, dial in, and fucking call in like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs in order to try and wipe out people like Schlep that try and stop the predators themselves. So instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators. It's really backwards, if you ask me. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like, just let that marinate in your head for a moment. Like, I understand vigilante groups can sometimes be a problem, but when you as the company are doing...
That's how they matched the Israeli operative, by the way. Caught the Israeli operative, by the way. Cops went undercover as teens. I understand, but I'll leave that to law enforcement, okay? Like, even they are probably not doing the best job when engaging in the act of pedo hunting, but I'm not gonna do it, okay? Like, there's a difference between people who are like actively farming CSAM, for example, in their Discord servers, like those kick streamers that one content creator like did a massive expose on, right? Like, those guys are doing it. There's no entrapment. They're just doing it publicly, okay? There's no like presenting yourself as a child or anything like that. But I think there's a balance to it where if some people just like go way above and beyond, and then that's the reason why you see a lot of these like pedo hunter style content creators. I'm not saying Schlep is like that. I don't know his content at all. But like a lot of these guys then turn into like the weirdos or are weirdos, and they're just doing this because they're weirdos. Some of them actually get outed as predators themselves as well. It happens far too much. So I just kind of fucking stay away from that world completely.
Nothing to actually stop it yourself. What other options are there? The community has to take matters into their own hands and start policing themselves to try and keep the platform safe, since Roblox is really dropping the ball on it. Like, for some reason, they don't even get out of bed when they hear about a pedophile on the platform, but if they hear about a YouTuber doing something to stop that, shit, they fire up like Dracula. They sit up like The Undertaker and they get to business. They go to work. So this is not the first time this has happened. They have come after people like Schlep before, the people that are actively trying to make the platform safer, and it just doesn't make any sense. The CEO seems to be too busy trying to pitch Roblox as a dating platform in addition to being for gaming. I already made a video talking about the lunacy of this idea, but it is like chumming the waters for sharks. The sharks in this case being pedophiles. Anyone who knows anything about Roblox and has a functioning frontal lobe should tell you what.
Bro, is the CEO a pedophile? What's going on? What the hell? The CEO was like, oh, this seems like a fantastic opportunity to get some teenagers to meet some eligible bachelors. That's crazy. That's insane. This is just, you know, let's dump some meat in the water where the sharks are circling. What the hell? This is the type of stuff that like parents in my generation were worried about, and therefore would, like, my parents did not want me playing any online video games or even have like MSN Messenger. You guys had AIM here in America. We had MSN Messenger in Turkey, and they didn't let me have it. Like, they didn't let me use it because they saw like one news article about like a predator or a pedophile doing predator stuff to children or whatever, right? And that was a little ridiculous because like MSN Messenger was not even, you could not really communicate with strangers, you know? It's just a way to communicate with your friends as long as you had their like usernames and stuff like that, right? I'm sure it probably happened, but you know, you could, the proper way to do that would probably be to educate your child on best practices, like understand how this works, understand how this like communication platform works, and educate your child in the same way that you would about like going out and not talking to strangers, stranger danger in public, right? Because nowadays the internet is basically the only public space that we exist in. So of course, my parents were too old, didn't understand it, and were instead like, you're not allowed to use it. And obviously I still used it. I had to learn a bunch of different like privacy apps that would, if I hit like a couple different keystrokes, would automatically close down Dota or MSN Messenger. You know, the ones that people use in like their workplace when they're watching me. That's on Hasanabi Piker while they're on the company time. You know, I used all of that. So I found a workaround around it. But the point is, this is a real fear. This is an understandable fear, especially if you're like in a large server and it's basically the equivalent of walking around as a child in public. And there's dudes with white vans holding out candy, but instead, because it's online, you just kind of feel like you're safe, but you're not safe at all. You know what I mean? But here, let's
What a recipe for disaster this is, to turn a platform that mainly targets children into also having a dating site component to it. That he wants to be 17 plus, which is a weird number to choose for that, by the way. But the CEO, Dave fucking Hakalugi Bazuki, really is fixated on trying to make this a reality of turning Roblox into a dating site in addition to its gaming. But they can't even protect children from pedophiles now. Imagine when they try and implement this to it.
Hilarious. Roblox is actively claiming that I'm hurting their players. Roblox is claiming that I'm engaging in simulated child endangerment conversations. What? So one of the fundamental bases of predator catching is that you cannot talk sexually to predators. Predators are supposed to be the ones talking sexually to you. If you talk sexually to predators like straight off the get-go, that's entrapment. That is literally what entrapment is. We almost always play a naive kid who doesn't know anything about this stuff, so they teach us about this stuff. If you've watched these videos, you know how the chats are going, and they're not even on Roblox. Most of the chat logs are on Discord, and they're accusing me of getting people off of platform onto.
Kind of glad you're down for that stuff. This can make something interesting. Oh, what the fuck? Hey, yo, dude. Wow, God. I used to make fun of my dad because like when there's any sort of like harm, simulated harm against like a child in a movie, he'll be like, shut this off. I can't watch this, right? And I'd be like, who cares? It's a movie, Dad. Calm down. And now I feel like I'm turning into him a little bit where like when I see this kind of stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't even do it. But then again, this isn't even simulated harm. This is like real shit. So this is like a real ass active predator out there existing in the same universe as myself, you, your loved ones, and your young relatives, your minor relatives. It's just so gross.
different social media sites.
Let's take a peek at this real quick. While Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, and while it recognizes the serious nature of online predatory behavior, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established safety protocols and critically are exposing Roblox's users to increased risk. If that isn't the fattest load of barnacles you've ever tried to swallow, I don't know what is. The big thing with everyone that is actively trying to keep the platform safer, like people like Schlep trying to catch predators, they report them immediately. That is the number one thing they do. The problem is, and you can look this up there yourself, there are so many articles that detail how nonchalant Roblox is when it comes to these reports. The problem is Roblox doesn't act on it. So as far as I know, in all of these predator catching groups,
Bro, this should be like instant IP ban, not for Schlep, of course, but for the person, and then also instantly report them to the authorities. Like it should be auto. It should be an automatic system where it's like, okay, we look through it. Obviously, this person is actively trying to go after children on our platform. Child safety and child endangerment is the number one priority for us, with an active user base of 40% that's under the age of 13. How do you prevent abuse of that? You have to hire people. What do you mean? You have to hire human beings who scour through the information and then send it over to the authorities. That's how you work with it. And I know nobody wants to do that because they go, it's too expensive. So the only way that you can do that if companies don't take this action on their own is legislation, punishments from regulatory agencies, punishments from authorities. Now, of course, we're talking about the United States of America, which is a massive market, obviously, for a lot of tech initiatives. That's not going to happen here in the United States of America because our regulatory agencies have been gutted from within by the likes of Doge, and our politicians are not invested in anything unless it's to give more money to Israel or if it's to give more money to the military-industrial complex in general. So if the children, including the children of politicians, were not children on Roblox getting predated on, but instead, I don't know, the latest Boeing missile system that they're developing being predated on, only then the politicians take action. So I have a brilliant idea. We fake it like the kids are actually missile systems. Hear me out, okay? We convince, they're old, they don't understand it, they don't understand how the world works. We convince the politicians that this is actually an Hellfire missile that's being predated on. Not a child, not an American child, because children are whack. Nobody cares about them, obviously. Duh. Children are not productive, okay? They don't even work. They don't generate value. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? They're not a lobbyist. They're not in the fucking halls of Congress. They're not working for Raytheon. Obviously, no one cares. So how do we make the politicians care? We say the kids are actually missiles, okay? Child, also kind of missile-shaped. Child, also oftentimes in the crosshairs of a missile. Think about it. Think about it. Every child that is actively attacked and predated on by a child predator online is actually a missile that could go to Israel. They're kidnapping our missiles. They're kidnapping our missiles. We have to put a stop to it. And then, boom, tomorrow there will be a solution.
First thing they do is report it through the proper channels on Roblox, but the issue is that report just makes it directly to the shitter at Roblox HQ for them to flush it. I don't know where it goes, but I guess it just goes somewhere to collect dust at Roblox. It falls into the goddamn back rooms. So they never actually act on any of the reports. So the proper channels are fucking useless. It's baffling. And in a lot of cases, Schlepp's about to give you an example, even when a predator is arrested, like a Roblox predator is arrested, they don't even ban that account that is associated with them a lot of times. It's craziness. To say like he's not doing this the right way because he's not reporting it through Roblox is just incorrect, and also laughable for them to claim that by not doing that, he's putting users at more risk. How does that make any sense? How is him trying to catch these predators somehow putting children in harm's way? Like, more so than Roblox doing nothing except sitting on these reports forever, maybe using them as like scribbling paper at the office, like a coloring book. Like, how is what he's doing, actively trying at least to stop predators, putting users more at risk. The next barrage of mumbo jumbo from Roblox is equally baffling, saying that he's engaging in simulated child endangerment. Well, I guess kind of, because there are predators on your platform that are talking sexually to him and his group that are pretending to be kids. And according to Schlepp, they're not initiating those inappropriate conversations. The predators are just there. The call's coming from inside the house on Roblox. He is not going out of his way to create pedophiles to catch. They are there. So the conversations do happen because the predators are there having them. And you have to imagine that in most cases, they're not having them with a vigilante group trying to catch them. They're having them with real children that are in real danger from these pedophiles that are running rampant on the platform. Now, the next thing they talk about, moving them to a new platform? What the fuck? As Schlepp mentions, a lot of the conversations do end up off the Roblox service on things like Discord, and apparently that's an issue with Roblox too, that they've taken users from Roblox and brought them to Discord. It's almost like they were upset that they lost a user there to somewhere else, like, no, bring them back. You're not allowed to, you're trying to poach our community.
Yeah. Roblox makes peer-to-peer encrypted chatting so that pedophiles can easily communicate with children, and they don't have to go to a third-party application to continue these conversations. That's the meta. Make it easier. I mean, the dating app shit is literally moving in that direction. Roblox was like, oh, we're joining the war. We're joining the war on pedophilia on the side of the pedophiles.
Wait, we're gonna lose pedophiles if you keep catching them, and we need that to pump up our numbers. Are you kidding me? No, that's a big problem.
I guess that's worth a cease and desist and an IP ban of every single account that I own. That's just crazy. I can't even fathom that. They also say sharing or soliciting personally identifiable information. I have no idea.
With the police? Is that what they mean? They're like, Roblox was like, you're doxing our pedophiles by giving their information to the police? That's crazy. Why would you dox our big, brave pedophiles? Why would you dox our big, beautiful pedophiles? It's like you're a predator trying to hunt down pedophiles. This is messed up.
What they're referring to this, I would love to know what they're talking about. Are they referring to the fact that I give the information of the predators that we find to the police? Like, the people we're talking to are predators.
Another weird one here from the slimy suits at Roblox Corp. What do you mean personally identifiable information? It almost sounds like they care more about the privacy of the predators than the act of actually stopping them. It's like, whoa, you just shared some of our users' data without our permission. Are you kidding me?
Imagine being a special victims officer and being assigned to play Roblox all day to catch predators. I mean, I think that's cool. You get to play video games all day. And also simultaneously, you're literally doing one of the functions of law enforcement that is actually good. You know what I mean? It's one of the decent functions of law enforcement that virtually no one would actively argue against.
Fucking doxing a pedophile on our platform? Nope. That is not permissible. We do not support that at all. Like, what the fuck? Like, it'd be entirely unnecessary if you would just do your job and give that personal information to the authorities so that way the predators could get arrested, but you're not doing it. So people like Schlepp have to. Like,
the most insulting thing is that they told me I'm not reporting people quick enough and I'm not reporting them through the right outlets. Tell me the right outlets. I have been trying to figure this out for like a year now. This here is Nepali Incel. This person actually made credible threats to the Las Vegas sphere in a Roblox game. And I saw this with my own two eyes. And the reason why it's a credible threat, it is because the FBI went ahead and arrested someone for making threats within that same game. I made a moderation ticket about it, and I even actually made a report to the FBI about this. Where is the cease and desist letter for him? Where's the IP ban for him? Are you gonna ban all of this dude's accounts?
Roblox uses the proper channels as like kind of this shield, but it's really a myth. It doesn't seem to actually exist because nobody knows the proper channels. They're doing all of like the reporting that they can to Roblox through everything they think is the proper channels. But Roblox, I guess, isn't very clear with what they are because they keep saying, nope, still not using the right channels. Well, what the fuck are they? Nobody seems to know how to access the proper channels. It's like a fucking Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg. How do you get there? Why don't you explain it then? Why don't you make it more clear? Because as of now, everyone is reporting it through what they believe is the right.
I feel like on the one hand, you're like, oh, this is just a children's game. Who cares, right? But also on the other hand, like, this is a primary mode of communication for a lot of people at this point, I guess. There's a massive active user base. Most of them are little kids. So, you know, it's pretty, bro, that's why you care. No, that's my point. My point is that, like, if this is where the kids are and this is where they spend most of their time, then you have to treat it in the same way that you would as though they're at the fucking public parks, you know?
Right channels, the ones that are readily available and accessible to people to report through, but those, I guess, aren't the right ones. So where the fuck are they and how can they access them? Like, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd. And then he makes a mention here of how, like, this one guy who did get arrested for credible terrorist threats still has his account active on Roblox. And there are predators that have been arrested and are currently in jail that still have their accounts active on Roblox. Like, they do not act on this shit, but they will act immediately if they catch a whiff of somebody trying to take matters into their own hands to stop it themselves to make the platform safer. They're instantaneously right there at their door, ready to slap them with some legal paperwork here. It's just craziness.
This is literally how it goes. We go to roblox.com/support, submit a moderation ticket, and then fill out the prompt with all the information regarding our arrest.
Bro, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, I don't want to have children anymore. And if I do, by accident or deliberately, I am not letting them have a telephone, a landline. That's like, I'm talking Steve Jobs, late stage cancer, no electronic equipment in the home. Okay. I'm talking you using, if I catch you using smoke signals to communicate with the outside world, okay, we're banning fire. Do you understand? No pigeons. You know what? Fuck it. Only pigeons. Okay. Only pigeons. Who would have thought that the Amish were actually doing the right thing as opposed to whatever the fuck this is? Come on, dude. This is tiny, tiny niche. My daughter don't even know this stuff exists. Granted, she's Japanese. There's pretty horrible stuff in Japan as well. I mean, yeah, this is the kind of shit that really banged in Japan. What are you talking about? In the 90s? And even to this day, Japan is a massive cult problem.
And give you guys the same Google Drive that we give to the cops. And in a lot of instances, Roblox won't even ban after we reach out to them regarding felony arrests. What I typically have to do is report cases to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or go on the news to show gameplay of our decoys with the predators on Roblox. I've literally felt so lost at trying to get the attention of Roblox regarding these predators. I've created binders with all the chat logs, and I've sent it to their headquarters in San Mateo, California. This is the first time Roblox has ever directly reached me out. Instead of trying to say, hey, we want to work with you, or literally giving me a line to report these people, or simply saying, don't make these videos anymore, we're gonna ban you, Roblox just terminated every account I own and sent me this cease and desist.
I feel like it's pretty clear in this case, Schlepp has literally done everything he can to try and let Roblox be the one to get these predators off the platform, putting the ball in their court, hoping that they will do the right thing and act on this information, at the very least investigate it, but they're not.
Like, normally these pred hunters are kind of weird, but this dude doesn't seem that weird. I know you're being hyperbolic, but the best thing for kids to have is a minimal screen time so they aren't tech illiterate and to just heavily monitor internet access and what they can see. Oh no, for sure. Wild take from that chatter when the last prime minister was assassinated because of how invasive a cult that managed to acquire so much power that it was able to evade regulation from the government. Yeah, that's true. Shinzo Abe's assassination came from yet another CIA-backed cult that is incredibly influential in Korea and also in Japan. That's true.
Which is why there are groups that are doing it themselves. That's the issue. He has literally exhausted every possible avenue and I guess still hasn't found the proper channel, even though he even sent like physical evidence to their actual brick and mortar location and still got nothing. Like, it's very clear that there is no real proper channels, but they really don't like people trying to stop the predator problem themselves. But Roblox also doesn't want to do it either. So, I mean, what options are left? Just let that continue, let that fester, let Roblox be a platform where children are just completely unsafe? I don't think that's exactly a bright future. This is a platform.
I've heard of this nonsense out in China. That sounds crazy. The reason why I say that sounds crazy is because, like, the Chinese government is so fucking hands-on, too hands-on, with actively monitoring things exactly like this with the hopes that this doesn't happen. So That is actually surprising. I mean, it's not surprising that there are cults in China as well. Obviously, Falun Gong is one of them. Again, also aligned with the CIA. I know, it's crazy. But why do so many of these cults all around the world always have some level of involvement with the American State Department? I don't know. But this is interesting because like it's that kind of cultish, ultra violent attitude that manifests in the heart of empire as well. Also, Slasher says, I went to a games advertising conference featuring Activision Vision Blizzard and Twitch, where Roblox got by far the most interest. In the 2 days of talks from addicts, the average age of Roblox user was never mentioned once. Roblox has never cared about the safety of their core players, kids. An interesting anecdote with an extreme and irresponsible extrapolation. Extreme and irresponsible, such as Roblox's failure to act on dozens of reported sexual misconduct instances, leading to a YouTuber having to get a senator's attention to prompt a change in policy in the first place. Is that what you meant? Now, this is a more reasonable and responsible commentary on this man. Oh, God, these guys, man. I fucking hate this. I hate guys like this who are just like so pedantic. Very irresponsible in your reporting. And then they fucking agree. Then they agree. They fold instantly, but then still turn around. They will still fucking turn around. That's like half your viewers. I know. I yell at them all the time. All the time. We are unable to do anything to predators that hang outside of group homes and they actively steal and traffic the children. Why do you think we're going to do something to protect children online?
Platform that does desperately need to be cleaned up. It is a huge problem there, and Roblox isn't doing it. Schlepp then tells a very personal experience he had on Roblox when he was a kid, and how he was also a victim of these type of evil people. And when his mother reached out to Roblox to report all of that and give the evidence about everything that had happened to her son, Roblox didn't act on it, and that individual still wasn't banned until years later. There is a problem. And Roblox isn't solving it, so the community is doing what they can to try and keep it safer. But Roblox is attacking the community that is actively trying to do that for them. I think it's bullshit. I think that is fucking baloney right there. And Roblox needs a real change in leadership in how they approach this shit. Maybe Dave Bazooki, instead of focusing on bringing dating to a children's game, should focus on trying to keep the children on that game safe. Maybe that should be the priority, I would think.